Eudes. We've got a great pleasure of having him give our watercolour demonstration tonight. Eudes is an exceptionally talented, internationally recognised watercolourist who grew up in Brazil, spent 6 years in Portugal, and now lives in Connecticut. He has a unique skill of harnessing the strengths of watercolour, its spontaneity, subtlety, and brilliance to capture the human spirit in an image. The streets of Lisbon and all the other locations where he paints come alive in his work. And if you haven't got a chance, go online, have a look at his YouTubes and have his work on Pinterest. There's some wonderful pictures there. Many of us have been captivated by his paintings for a long time. But if this is the first time, then you're in for a treat tonight. I would now like to hand over to Eudes to start the demonstration. And I'll just spotlight you.
Yes, thank you. First, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for opportunity for do that. This will be a little bit challenge for me because the time and I never paint so early in my life. Usually I start to paint after 11 morning, but I want to do my best here, and I want to share some information. I think this should be good. I chose one subject for do that. Yesterday I had workshop here in Buffalo, near Buffalo, in New York State, and I drive 8 hours for arrive in time for stay here and sleep a little bit. And yesterday in my workshop I took pictures of one student. His name is David. This guy, I will show you. Maybe you can see my.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see my screen, but I will this one because yes. After.
Beautiful.
Nice guy. He's sailor guy, and he's American, and he live every winter. He moved to Turkey, and he spent time there. And I had good time with him in my workshop, and I want to paint him. I think it's a good challenge. It's not easy for paint. His skin very clean. I chose one hard position. This is a little bit hard than normal, but this is why I want to share some information before I start to paint. I already made my draw. Usually I like to make my draw in time when I'm doing workshop or demonstration, but I think it should be better if I share some information about that. And I did my draw because the draw I spend between 20 to 30 minutes for do sometime. It depends of the draw. And I think this can be tired for watch. I don't like watch draw. I like to watch just when painting. So I made my draw. This is better for me because I can explanation better about the face. If you don't understand well my English, my poor English, I'm Brazilian, so you please be patient with me, and you can ask more time if you want. Okay, I really don't speak really good English, and sometimes my vocabulary is very poor. I don't know a lot of words, so I will try do my best. Can you see my setup? My paper.
Yes.
I use my paper a little bit inclined. I put something here just for do that. And for me, the responsibility is 2 times harder. Now Joseph told that to you what? Joseph is my idol in Watercolour night. Joseph is Bukvich. This is my idol. I love what he does, and he told you that we watch. Oh my God, this is be worse. Now you make me nervous. But let's do. So here, at the first moment, I want to share with you about the face, how I see the face, because we see face like that in different position, we need to know how to read it for understand how the face work. For example, here you can see the skin color looks the same tone volume, like from here, this part, the front part, from this side part. When we look at the pictures, really look the same. This is very, I put it close for you see. So here, have a little bit more light, of course. You can see that here is front, here is side, is dull part. But still dull part look the same. Usually, when we understand about the 3D, you can understand very well how this works. For example, when I see the face, I use it, I see like 3D, like this. I try make draw a little bit stronger for you see better my draw. Maybe I can put a zoom here. I try see all the time I see my draw like 3D, like this. In this case, like this. So when I see the face like in 3D, I understand that have 3 different tone volume. Okay, so here never. Can you see my draw?
We can see your drawing, yes.
Okay, so here you put number 1, 2, 3. This is different of this and different of this. Usually, the dull part is dark. In this case, because he is in daylight, very strong sun, and his beard is white, have reflection, looks a little bit the same. And this part looks the same of this part. But for me, I understand that if I do 3D, usually here, for example, will be dark. If I use this part, dark part, this another one will be middle part. And here will be light. And for light, I need contrast for see the light. This is the way that I see the face. So here looks the same tone volume, but it's not the same. Here is light in front. You put draw here for example, will be the eyes, another eyes, the mouth, more or less. Here the ears. So in front, light. In this side, a little bit middle tone volume. In the dull part usually is dark. Here you cannot see dark, but here is dark because the light is stronger, have reflection, and looks a little bit less dark. But between when I make the face, I remember this is not like this is I need to make transition between every parts. For example, this is the same when I do like that. I come here, make the circle. I think it's too strong. I don't know. You see better now?
Yes, yes.
Here. I make division in three sides. I put you here. 1, 2, 3. This is the circle. When I paint this, I paint one part dark. Another part medium. And another light. But I need transition between the light and the medium. Put water here and make transition. I need transition between the light and the dark part. And the light and dark part. Here the medium and dark part here. And here the light. I will just make this draw better. Wait. Here, I need a contrast for see the light. Usually, when I have medium, light, medium, and dark, is dark. I have the shadow here. I don't know if I can see well this. Wait. Medium. Okay. You put a little bit dark here more. And here is the same. When I make this, I have one side, two side, three side. 1, 2, 3. The same. Just one part is light, another medium, and another dark. This is what happened in the face. Three side, but have transition between the medium to the light, to dark, to the light. Okay? The faces have a three side. So from when I look this view and I make my draw, I remember all the time that if I make the draw like this, I look the angle. I will stand because it's better for draw. And I make the front here. This is front. And the side perspective here. You make the ears, the beards, the neck. And here, I look the angle, because this perspective, like I did here, this is perspective. So I use the line for the eyes, have a little bit curve, because the face is not flat. And when I put the eyes will be here, just a little bit more up, like this. So here will be the eyes. Another eyes will be here. And the nose, you come make nose here, make perspective in the nose again, the same like this. So here you perspective of the nose. Here you have details. Here the center of the face. And here you have the mouth. The beards. Here a little bit of hair. Here eyebrow here. The hair too. Here, the shirt, the neck. Another eyes will be here, more or less. Okay. And I look for the same way that I want to make explanation. Let's do that for be clear. For example, here will be medium. You start for the medium. Here will be medium. Medium will be here. I need transition, and I make the medium. I need transition here. And here too. And here too. And that part, for example, here will be dark. Not so dark, but dark part. A little bit more in tone and value when I make it, for example, this one is dark. This will be medium. Here, almost zero pigment. Just very light. Here, I do medium. Now, I will put a little bit dark. Down part. Make the contrast here. Here. Here too. In the mouse have the dark part. Here too. The nose. The eyes. Every part, because I have volume here, so here it will be a little bit dark. This middle part will repeat here, because here have volume, the nose, so here is middle. So here I need to put middle again. Here too, middle. In the beards too, in the mustache, the beards too. And make transition here. And here, a little bit color. Here, just details. Details here, details. And here too. Basically, I have here the way that I see the paint. When I put here now, of course, I need to put color here in the church. Will be like this. And in here, a little bit dark. Now I can make the second step here, just for make this stronger. And here, I just put contrast for see the light. So basically, I do like that. I explore, of course, more with more details. I explore here the beers, but I am simplify for be easy for understand my way. Here I use sometime my nails for make some light. But basically, this is the way for make my draw. I see 3D, three side. I see three side again, but with transition. Here I make my paint like my draw like in perspective, and I see this in three side. And when I say three side, remember every volume have three side. Like the nose have three side, like this. One side will be here, the light, middle side, the dark part here. After just put details, can make this very nice, like this. Here.
Someone just came in to ask what sort of paper you're using. Is that a hot press paper?
Yes, hot press paper, Winsor Newton, 300 grams.
Okay, thank you.
I use every material, paper, paint by Winsor Newton. I'm sponsored by them. And I use this, I use usually just from the tube.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
okay. So this is clear. This is what I want to share. What I will do now will be the same, but with color. I already made my draw. And this they draw. When I do, I try make this precise, more precise possible. Because if I do mistake in my draw, probably my paint will be with mistake too. So I must to do the draw precise. You have any question now? If possible, I can answer. If not, I will continue my paint. I will start my paint, my demo. Yeah, I ask if somebody have a question about the explanation. I try to answer if possible.
Good. No one's come through with questions so far. Okay, as soon as they come through, I'll mention it to you. Do you always use hot press paper for all your paintings?
Yes, always.
Okay.
I like the texture, and when I'm painting, I want to share some paint. I will show you why this. Take a paint here. This is one of my paint, and I explore a lot of dry brush, like a brush stroke, like this. I like to do that, and this is why I need texture.
Okay.
So, I don't like big half paper because sometimes in my face I work a little bit more in the face. This was one demo that I did in Italy, the workshop, but you can see I work a little bit more in the face. This is why I can choose half paper, because this could be hard for do. I don't like, and I don't like to use satiné or cold press because I like to see the texture of the brush in the paper. So in this case, I work always in 2 layers. And this is I do 1 layer for make this paint more transparent possible.
Yes.
You can see. And back with 2nd layer for make details.
The details, yes.
So let's start paint. I will do I will start with some colors, strong colors. After I go to the face.
Do you have a standard mixture for your skin colors? One of the questions was what colors are you using? So if as you go through them, if you could mention them, that would be great. But have you got a standard go-to formulation for various skin colors?
I use the same color that I use for light skin. I can show I use this for color for light skin. I use orange, but this orange is cadmium orange, cadmium red, alizarin, and cobalt.
Cobalt.
I use for color. When I use Penn's gray, or when I use for black skin color, I add sometimes ultramarine.
Ultramarine, yes.
If it's really black, I can use sometimes Penn's gray.
Okay.
But I try use this both colors. This is 5 colors. always.
Okay.
Of course, I have some time, I need violet one side, I mix alizarin and cobalt, and I like to explore a very strong color in my paint. My paint is not classic painting. So I explore a lot of the colors. I like it that, and I like the make my paint a little bit more powerful with the colors. So I explore a lot. So in this case, for example, I will start painting, and I start with a strong color. I have one favorite color, is this one.
That cobalt turquoise.
Yes, and I use
Great
it
color.
a lot, and I really like it. I will try make this a little bit, not so strong, but a little bit more than normal here. I will mix more color. Use ultramarine now. Permanent mauve. And a little bit orange. This is the color that I use. Here. I stand, I don't like to paint seat, but I am. I think I replace today. Here I do that for making some contrast. I like connect everything as possible. I use now orange and red. Here, and I use cobalt. That's part. And here I use it more red and orange, but with a little bit more light.
You seem to use a lot of brush types. Have you got a favorite brush type, or do you depend? It really depends on what you're doing.
The brush,
Yeah, because you use a broad brush and you've used a mop, and now you're using,
I use when I need a big area. I use a big brush like this one and this one. This is too fast for paint.
Okay.
If I use I want to, in the first layer, I want to use really a lot of water for make this more fresh and transparent. And this for this I use this brush, this one, this synthetic brush, and this is petit gris, and get hold a lot of water, and so I can use better. After second step, I do very slowly, and I work just in contrast and shadow. So the first layer, sometimes I start with this one. I feel that's too big for small detail. I change for another one.
Yeah. Okay.
Here I need to absorb this water. Now I start to work average volume that I can do in first layer because it's still very wet.
Mm.
I work here, for example, to absorb a little bit paint here because I have too much water. Here too much. That's why I need a sponsor because I use a lot of paint.
What a pain.
But I could be very poor. So here, in the first step, I work a very strong color, and I try to do everything possible in the first layer
Okay.
for don't here more. After I concentrate in my focal point, because my focal point will be the face. So I use ultramarine now, permanent mauve, and orange for me, but now very clean paint just for making every shadow possible. A little bit color here. Now pigment, more pigment, for make this really strong. Almost without water. Here, I work a little bit more. Some parts almost is dry. And here in the shadow, I work in second step, second layer in that part. I can do that now. I think I can do that. The watercolor, you never know how you'll be if you don't try. Sometimes can be good, sometimes can be horrible, but you must try. If you want to use a lot of water for making really nice.
Now, is that Antwerp blue or some sort of phthalo blue?
This is, I use phthalo and a little bit aqua green.
Okay.
Here I make some kind of shadow here too.
Yeah.
Not a lot, just for make some volume here. Okay. And here I work a little bit with shadow too, cobalt and red. You make strong color here. A little bit more red, or make this and orange a little bit too. I try make this first layer too. This can be nice. I make some kind of shadow here in the ears too. I work a little bit with shadow, but now a little bit light. That's the first step here. I make suggestion. And in the ears, I will work too a little bit because it's too wet, I think. I guess, I'm not sure. Let's see. Yes, a little bit. For connect everything's possible. And here, I use a little bit yellow now with cobalt to make this warm. A little bit shadow. And I use the same with orange to make this warm here too. A little bit more orange with cobalt and red, a little bit red. So here will be my first layer. Some detail here. Here too. Here too. Here. More detail just for make this nice. And I need to wait this dry. I will just work a little bit here to make more details. Some volume here.
Now,
So
do you ever use a hairdryer, or is that forbidden?
I don't like to use hair dry. It's very fun. I joke all the time. Do you know what I like to use for dry?
What?
Wine, but too early now. I like to drink one glass of wine and wait to dry. But not too early.
I like your philosophy. Much better than a hairdryer.
I don't like use air dry, but I use when I'm doing workshop just for be fast and use better my time. But I don't like to see the watercolor work and create some kind of texture, and this is better.
Yeah.
I joke about the wine because I like to paint with wine. I think today will be my first demo without wine. I think I changed for coffee. I did not drink coffee today.
But 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, probably coffee's a better choice, I think.
For sure. Okay, I need to wait dry a little bit. I can use for don't lose time. Wait, I will put my okay. Let's use this will be fast. Because I use a lot of water and sometimes it's late a lot for dry.
Yes.